Hello? Today, you will hear a story about a man's revenge. 40 years. That's how much time has passed in marriage with Meredith. We met at a very young age and fell in love with each other. I still remember that sunny morning when I saw Meredith with a bunch of bags. She left the store and went to her mother. I was passing by and spotted her. I offered her my help. Girl, wait. I caught up with her. Let me help you. No. You don't need it. Thanks. Meredith turned to me as one of her bags burst open and apples rolled down the sidewalk. Stop it. It's not hard for me, really. I said, helping to pick apples. Young man, thank you very much. Meredith thanked me. I took all the bags on myself since I didn't have a car then. After I helped carry the bags, I asked her to meet again for coffee. The girl agreed. I was incredibly happy that day. Our meetings continued. Everything was just gorgeous. Meredith was very easy and fun to talk to. Those were carefree student years. It didn't take much to be happy back then. We were just happy to be together. And soon we got married. Adult life forced us to change. I wanted to provide for Meredith. She, of course, worked the same, but I still tried to make her life as happy as possible. But it was difficult. There was no way to find a decent job. So I had to work multiple jobs at once. But it gave me joy that I could please my beloved girl with expensive gifts. But life led to the fact that this was not enough. Harry, how long are you going to be dragging around in all these worthless jobs? You really do not earn anything and we need more. Meredith began to speak reproachfully. Dear, I'm trying very hard. It's not as easy as it seems, but I promise that our future will definitely be rich and happy. You've been talking about this for years. And there was no result and no. I think more and more that I married a loser. Meredith, what are you talking about? Everything I do is just for you. And instead of support, I get a spit in the face. I'm not going to support the weakling anymore. I'm not going to stay in poverty until old age. Meredith replied harshly. Such scandals happened more and more often. I noticed that Meredith became very interested in money, although she herself did not really strive to earn them. She could only blame me for this, and I was very offended. Yes. I did not earn millions, but every penny I earned came to me with very hard work. And Meredith didn't appreciate it. But I was still in love with Meredith. She was everything to me. I thought that I would still reach the heights in my development and then everything would change for the better. Soon I started to get it. Through trial and error, I created a successful business that was actively developing and bringing in a good income. Meredith really calmed down. She liked our travels around the world and expensive gifts. But her euphoria and gratitude were short-lived. She asked for more and more money each time for personal expenses and took it for granted again. This money was not small, but it was also earned with blood and sweat. I was constantly at work. But when I did manage to make time, Meredith was less and less willing to spend that time with me. Meredith, dear, I'll be free early too and we can go to rest in our favorite restaurant. I said admiringly to my wife. Dear, this, of course, is good. Only I already have plans for the evening. Meredith replied dryly. Darling, tell me what's going on. Yes. Nothing happens. Everything is fine. What's normal here? I work like a horse. I have one of the few free days and you don't want to spend it with me again. Sorry. You should have warned me ahead of time. In advance. You totally freaked out? You don't even work now. What are you doing so important that you need to be warned about such simple things? Listen, I'm sick of you. My plans are my plans. I don't want to look like a fool in front of my girlfriends. We made an appointment with our girlfriends for tonight. We wanted to sit down and relax for a while. Recall the old days. And now I have to cancel all this because my crazy husband suddenly decided to ban me. You twist everything. I do not forbid you anything. It's just that I want to be alone with my beloved wife, and you can't cancel the meeting with your fucking girlfriends. You know, Harry, go to the ass with your stupid proposals. I was just in shock after such words. I was even speechless for a while. Yes. We sometimes fought, but now everything just turned into something incredible. My suspicions began to creep in. It was very strange that she often began to meet with her girlfriends lately. These were also those slippery creatures who could only discuss everyone in a row. And Meredith didn't like it before, so she didn't hang out with them very often just to show off her status. When I got home from work, Meredith was no longer at home. I calmed down a little and decided to overcome my anger. Busy preparing dinner. Thought Meredith would come home, would have a nice dinner, and I'd try to talk to her. But time passed and Meredith did not return. Dina is long gone. I sipped my whiskey glass while waiting for my wife. Soon I fell asleep in the chair. I was awakened by scratching near the front door. It was already almost morning. I jumped up and opened the door. Before me stood drunk in the trash and shabby wife who was trying to open the door. What the hell, Meredith? I asked anxiously. Harry, don't scream. Well, a little late with my girlfriends. Meredith replied. A little. Yes. It's almost morning. I've been waiting for you all evening. Don't be mad, please. Let's talk later. I'm going to bed. Meredith reeked of alcohol and cheap men's perfume. I was just shocked. It didn't look like she was hanging out with her girlfriends at all. Disgusting thoughts swirled in my head again. I felt deceived, but I decided to hold back and continue the conversation when Meredith woke up. Well, wife walking, don't you want to explain yourself? I asked as Meredith got out of bed. Honey, forgive me. It's my fault. I don't know what came over me yesterday. Meredith answered guiltily. Answer me, please. Why did you smell of men's perfume? Is it? Michael was sitting next to me. At the table. Remember Elizabeth's husband? He must have smelled. Was he with you? Yes. Elizabeth brought him with her, although we agreed to meet only as girls. Harry, honey, don't think anything bad. Yes. I came home late and pretty drunk, but if you think that I cheated on you, then you are deeply mistaken. I really love only you and I would never allow myself anything extra in my life. Okay. Sit down at the table. I cooked breakfast. Dear, you're the best. I looked at Meredith and felt that she was outright lying to me. I knew Michael. He would never use such a perfume. There was clearly something wrong here, but Meredith was in no hurry to tell the truth. She acted like a carefree student despite her age. A little later, I called my friend Steve. It was my best friend from a young age. He also reached good heights and he had his own clinic. Steve. Hello. Do you have a free minute? Yeah. Harry, what's wrong? I know it's none of your business. But I need to talk to you. Well, tell me already. Have you noticed how Meredith has changed lately? To be honest, I noticed, but I didn't want to get into my own business. So I see that she has changed. Behaves like a naughty youngster. We now quarrel quite often, but yesterday, she killed me completely. She came in the morning, drunk, she smelled of men's perfume. Friend, listen. I don't even know what to advise you. Have you tried talking to her? Yes. Of course. But I see that she is lying to me. I can't sleep anymore. I suspect something is wrong. All right, don't be nervous. Let's meet tonight, discuss everything if you want. I would be glad. Let's call in the evening and meet. Excellent. Agreed then until the evening. I plan to get drunk tonight and pour my heart out to a friend. Maybe I'll feel better and find a way to deal with it all. But my plans in the evening changed dramatically. Meredith, where are you going? Darling, Uncle Johnny called me. Something happened to his wife. I have to leave for a couple of days. I want to be around. They are already quite old, and you know how they are dear to me. So I want to be together. Maybe something I can help. I understand, let's go together. No, dear. It's not necessary. I can handle it myself. Don't be bored here. I'll be back soon, Meredith said and continued to pack quickly. Soon Meredith left. I did not sit still and decided to check where she would go. Is she really lying to me even now? This madness made me sick, but I gathered my strength and went after her. I soon realized that she was driving a completely different route. Meredith stopped outside a house. A young man ran up to her and jumped into her car. Who is this bastard? Why have I never seen him before? I thought. The car drove towards our small country house. I hadn't been here in a long time, but it looked like Meredith had been coming here a lot lately. I saw the car stop and the couple went into the house. I wanted to immediately run after them, but suddenly an idea popped into my head that was much more attractive. When we used to be here often together, I installed hidden cameras here. Meredith didn't know about them. Our garden tools were stolen, and I wanted to follow the cameras. Maybe the thief would return to the crime scene again. And Meredith, I just decided not to burden this information. The camera was also inside the house. But then I considered it useless and just turned off the cameras. I quietly entered a small room from the backyard. Equipment was gathering dust here. I turned on the equipment and everything worked. I clearly saw and heard what Meredith and this stranger were talking about. Meredith, we're together again. This young guy spoke sweetly. Yes, my baby. Did you get what I asked you? Of course, Bunny. Look. This guy took out a syringe with some liquid. Will that really kill Harry? Meredith asked worriedly. Undoubtedly, this old man is screwed. He may suffer a little more, but it will stop his heart. At his age, death from a heart attack is a normal thing. No forensic scientist will get to the bottom of the truth. With a grin, the guy said, naming the strange name of the drug. I wish it would all be over. I can't stand it anymore. I want him to die quickly. Die. And then we'll get rich, baby. All his property will go only to us. Now come here. I'll show you something, said this bastard and began to crush my wife in all places. You dirty bitches, I exclaimed and ran into the house. I kicked the door open and flew into their room. Grabbed that bastard and threw him against the wall. Bitch, you lying. Decided to choose a young lover. You wanted to kill me. You bastard. I'll show you. I yelled and slapped Meredith in the face. Get it, creature? The bastard explained as he got up off the floor and ran over and stuck a syringe in my neck while I was focused on Meredith. You creature, I shouted, clutching my neck with my hand. I still had enough strength to knock out this bastard. Then I pushed Meredith away and ran outside. My heart was beating wildly. My chest started to hurt a lot. I got into the car and managed to drive a few kilometers. Along the way I scored my friend. Hello? Harry. Is that you? Harry. I heard Steve's voice on the phone. Yes. Steve. It's me. I'm driving along the highway towards the city. Drove away from my country house. Remember? Yes. I remember what happened. Steve. They injected me with some rubbish. Steve. I'm out of breath. Wild pain in the chest. This is all my wife, I said with a breath. Harry stopped the car. I'm going. Hold on. Okay, Steve. I'm standing on the sidelines. I said with all my might. The last thing I managed to tell Steve was the name of that drug. I don't know if Steve heard me because I started to black out. When I opened my eyes, I saw the bright light of a light bulb in the ward. Finally, woke up, Steve said happily. I barely had time, a little more, and you would have died. It's good that you were able to name the drug. I quickly found the antidote. You called my wife? I asked anxiously. Not yet. You said it had. to do with your wife, so you decided to wait until you wake up. Well done, Steve. Right, I said with relief. I decided to get revenge on those bastards, and I had a great plan. I told Steve everything and asked me to call my wife a little later to say that I had died. Let those bastards have a little cheer for my vengeance. I remembered the password for remote access to the cameras. The equipment in the country house was still on, so I was able to connect without any problems. I saw that those bastards were still in that house waiting for news. I saw how happy they were when Steve informed them of my passing. And I went there again only already prepared. I drove up to the house and started to wait. This young bastard went out on the terrace to smoke. I crept up behind him and covered his mouth with a rag soaked in chloroform. The guy collapsed and fell to the ground. I then sneaked into the house unnoticed and put Meredith to sleep in the same way. When they woke up, they were tied on the floor. Harry, is that you? Can't be. Meredith yelled. You should have died, angrily shouted that bastard. Yes. He's a dick to you, creatures. I am more alive than all the living. Now your life is in question, I said, taking out 2 full syringes and uttered the name of the drug that they injected me with. Well, it's a familiar little thing. Let's try it on you now. No. Harry. No, please. Sorry. Meredith yelled. Harry, I didn't want to. She made me. Please let me go. The bastard sobbed like a girl. No, creatures. It's too late to ask for forgiveness. Now the doctor will give you an injection, I said with a grin, and injected them with syringes. These creatures screamed and writhed in horror. It was real agony. They soon passed out. I didn't inject them with poison. It was a common sleeping pill. But I made these bastards imagine their death. Soon the police arrived. They packed these comrades. I gave the police a CCTV video of my murder being discussed. After the trial, these creatures were put behind bars. I continued to live. It was difficult for me to throw 41 years of my life into the trash. I had to learn to live without Meredith. But I did well. So I continued to enjoy life. Dear listeners, your support is very important to us. If you like our story, please like, comment and subscribe. It's very motivating for us.